Beyonce was interested in watching the first one, so we were waiting for her to catch up before we all watched the second one, and she still has not.
Well, all of this and more on Gory Storytime.
Warning. Gory Storytime is a horror movie review show by a son and his dad who thought that letting his 5-year-old watch scary movies was acceptable. If you are offended by horror or talk about blood and gore by a child, or if you don't want horror movies from the 60s through today spoiled, then there is a remote stuck in your couch cushion next to potato chip crumbs. Use it. And of course, parental discretion is advised.
Why? You didn't use any.
Shut up and start the show.
You were never Jaws in that one. Welcome to Gory Storytime. I'm your host, Jason.
I'm his co-host and his father, Craig, and as you can see, we're finishing up our series on
Four sequels that we've owned for a while and put off.
Yeah. A while back, we did 4 movies that we just took forever to watch. This is a sequel to that.
Because it's sequels to those.
No, it's not sequels to those.
Sequels to those, but
we got The Collection, a sequel to The Collector. For those who remember, there's a guy whom likes to booby-trap people's own homes against them, or booby-trap places against people.
People, right.
Very similar to like a Saw-type setup, very gory and bloody.
Only this guy doesn't want you to get out.
Yeah, this guy did this into someone's house, like someone's own house in the first one, and this is at a like underground dance party that takes place in a like abandoned building.
Yeah.
Basically. And he just starts killing people, and if you remember the end of the first one, the guy that escaped then gets kidnapped by this guy, and he continues to be the person that's trying to lead his people out.
Yes.
Until he gets out, and then people drag him back in.
They do keep pulling him back in, don't they?
And I was so mad about that, but we'll get into that later. So that's basically the premise. This guy that sets booby traps to kill people is doing it again on a bigger scale.
And the guy who broke into that house in the first one is doing it again
to try
on a bigger scale.
Get this guy. That's about all I have to tell you about the basic plot without spoiling much. So why don't we throw it to the trailer so you can see what we're talking about.
Trailer. There it is. I know I sent it to him.
Where is this place, anyway?
It's right up here.
With over 50 people still missing, grieving families are seeking answers.
I'm working for a man whose daughter's gone missing. She's all I have. Find her. Was she alive?
Last time I saw her.
I've got 48 hours before she's dead.
You wanna find this guy, you gotta start at the beginning. You better be prepared. Bring everything you got. Because if he catches you, he's gonna make you wish you were dead.
You gotta help us find Elena. You're the only person to see the inside of this hotel and live.
It's built like a maze, the whole place is rigged. He's picking us off. All about money.
Well, all right.
Did not give as much away as I had worried.
But
I know
gave
I
enough
had never
to
seen that.
the trailer.
Yeah,
We
'cause-
didn't bother. We just knew that we wanted to see the sequel.
Yeah.
Let's see. Give me that. Because before we get into the behind-the-scenes information, what we do here every week is we go over the same basic script that I make up, saying that we're not really doing this to review horror movies. We're doing it to make money.
Yada, yada,
And then we
yada.
read
Yeah.
2 funny commercials that are parodies. I mean, they're real things.
They actually exist.
No. This week are commercials that are actual products you can buy or things you can do that we're advertising are, let's see. Gory Storytime is brought to you by the documentary Connor the Collector. It tells the story of Connor Sewer, the man who's got the largest collection of collections. He collects baseball cards, Star Wars action figures, Garbage Pail Kids, autographed photos, music, DVDs, books, stamps, and hundreds more. So if you miss hoarders, check out Connor the Collector, the man of 1,000 collections.
Uh-huh. Excuse me. And by the Book Underground Club DJ Services.
Oh, no, the book was wrong.
Okay, the Underground Club DJ Services. Do you need a DJ for a pop-up dance club? Someone who will ignore whatever is happening around them while they spin the music? Then Underground Club DJ Services is for you. Our DJs have ignored wild adults-only parties, vampire attacks, booby-trapped death rooms, and more. Underground Club DJ Services, because even your sketchy ventures need a soundtrack.
There we go. All right.
You know, I didn't even think about the fact that there was still music playing.
Anyway, so let's get into the behind-the-scenes information, or as he likes to call it, the meat and beef.
Or as I like to call it, the meat and the beef of the show.
Yes, because meat and potatoes is too starchy.
And potatoes are bad for you.
You want to go first?
Sure. The Hotel Argento, where the collector has his victims, is a nod to the cult Italian horror director Dario Argento.
All right. The mannequins are a nod to the film Maniac, which is unfortunate because that movie is awful. Go back and look at our 200th episode, and you will see a perfect cut of that movie. It was edited to make it better, which is something that Fact TV has a series that Alex does, Alex of Fact TV.
So we partnered with him and we had him
edit it down to just the best parts, took out the slow parts, the boring parts, made it so it rearranged scenes so it put it in an order that made the most sense.
Yeah.
And we have what I think is the definitive version on our 200th episode special. So go on YouTube and check that out. But anyway.
A sequel titled The Collected was announced to be in development in May of 2019. In October that year, production was mysteriously halted after only 8 days of shoot and never progressed. As a result, several props from the set were stolen. In 2021, screenwriters Marcus Dunstan and Patrick Melton confirmed that a sequel will not be happening due to creative disinterest between them and the producers.
But there's more about that coming later. When Brian is running from the the Thresher-like machine, he runs between Josh and a blonde Josh is kissing. This is the same blonde Brian was kissing when Elena spotted him, credited as actress Heather Moat.
Elena roughly translated means bright one in Greek and Spanish origin.
The house owned by Elena,
Oh.
and her father is the same house belonging to Yakavetta crime family in Boondock Saints 2.
I didn't know there was a 2.
I did, but I never
John
saw it.
Gulager, at around 17 minutes, if you look closely at the police arresting Arkin in the hospital, one of them is horror director John Gulager, who has collaborated with Marcus Dunstan on other films.
When the collector is setting fire to his surveillance system, a chrome skull can be seen on the table, a reference to the protagonist in the Laid to Rest film series, which I don't know.
I've never heard of that.
Right.
When Arkin escapes the party by jumping through a window, and he is barefoot and bloody. However, while falling from the window, landing on the car, and walking down the street, he's wearing blue shoes. Soon after, at the hospital, he's barefoot again.
Makes sense. Arkin lets Paz break his arm. Then he fights the Collector and uses both arms to grab, punch, and throw him.
Yeah, but it showed him in pain from those things.
No.
Well, yes.
No.
Okay. Elena?
Mm-hmm.
Elena's bra strap disappears and reappears multiple times throughout the film.
So sometimes she wanted support, sometimes she was jiggle.
Yes.
Let's see. The death count for this movie, 309 people, mostly unnamed, and 1 dog.
309 people. Blood was everywhere in this movie.
Oh yeah, this movie
was bonkers.
Yep.
When Arkin breaks through the window to escape the Collector at the club, he lands on a parked car. The windows of the car blow out before he makes contact with the roof.
When the Collector's dog attacks Arkin and the others, the tattoo on Arkin's right shoulder is missing when he's bitten.
Oh. Abby locks herself and the others in a room and with a lock on the door. But when the Collector appears, the lock has disappeared from the door. The door Abby uses...
But why are you skipping to the next fact? The door Abby uses to lock everyone in the room is different from the door the Collector later opens.
The end credits show how the lead characters died/survived while displaying their names respectively.
And director Marcus Dunstan has confirmed in an interview in June of 2022 he's passionate about a third film, and he's been working on reviving the production, saying it's slow. I think there's a lot of things to untangle, but we're going to use our time to hope that it all works.
I hope it all works.
Yes, because officially it's still
happening?
Slated to be a
right.
thing.
Like, you look it up and it's like, yes.
But the fact that they filmed 8 days and then stopped. For a horror movie, 8 days is probably half the production time. So I wonder.
Yeah.
I mean,
yikes.
Because
it doesn't take very long
they try to
do it
them
once it's
in
done.
a couple weeks, like boom, boom, boom.
Yeah.
They try.
Well, Rotten Tomatoes exists.
Rotten Tomatoes does exist, and sometimes I'm disappointed with the people who use it.
Yes. Critics and people alike.
Yes. Critics, what they do is they give positive and negative reviews. All Rotten Tomatoes does is just takes the total of views,
Collect them.
or the total of reviews, and then says what % were positive.
Yeah.
And then they tell you the percentage. That's
Yes.
all it is. It's not that they're saying this movie is this out of 100. They're not.
No.
They're saying when you average everyone together, that's what they said. And this week, the critics had it at
35%.
which is kind of low for a good movie.
Very low.
And usually the people have a different take when it comes to horror or comedy. Well, they did have a different take. They were up all the way to 49%, because 51% of the people who reviewed it obviously saw the first, either didn't see the first one and didn't know it was coming, or didn't know that sequels always get bloodier in horror movies. Like, the kill count has to go up. Like, no one watched Nightmare on Elm Street 2 and said, but more people died. Boo.
More people did die. No. My boo was the altered timeline thing, but...
Altered timeline? For Nightmare 2?
Yeah.
Yeah, well... We figured out a way that Nightmare 2 makes perfect sense as one right...
As 5.
Yeah. If you move them all down, if you go from 1, 3, 4, 5, then 2, then 6, 6 makes more sense even.
Yeah.
But this is not our review of that.
This is not the Nightmare on Elm Street series.
No. We got to figure out if we've missed any of those so we can review them, though. I don't know if we have.
I don't know.
Anyway, we'll have to look back. I mean, we've been doing it for a decade.
Years. Almost 10.
Decade. Yeah. Anyway, All right. The people have it at 49% is what I said, right?
Yes.
So
We don't agree with those numbers.
we don't, because we liked the first one, and this was just more.
Of the first one.
Yeah, like
It was just more.
it's expanded. It's bloodier. Like the traps were killing more people at once, but like they had to up the ante. It's a sequel,
But it's also not incredibly long. So
right?
they were able to do it and not feel like it was just dragging.
True. All right. So let's see. Since we
Favorite
liked
and least
this,
favorite, right?
since we liked this, yeah. What was your least favorite part?
Okay. My least favorite part is probably, and I'm spoiling this movie for you, but right at the end, he like throws him onto a pile of like sharp stuff and
He
bones.
throws him.
Okay, Arkin, I think is his name, throws the bad guy onto a pile of dead people and like broken glass and stuff, and then lights him on fire, and then abandons him in the building. And
Then we see
moments
proof
later,
that he's not dead.
later, this mere human being,
we don't
has
know that yet.
teleported
It
from
still
the
hasn't
basement.
revealed him.
it's teleported him from the basement to gone, and his stuff is left behind outside.
But he would know all the ways
Yeah,
in and out of that
that's stupid.
building that he set up.
Okay, but that's
Anyway, no,
just don't kill him if you want him back.
sure. My least favorite part, I would say, is the people that talked the guy from the first one to go back.
Yeah,
Because he escaped at the beginning of this movie. That's not a spoiler. And then, like, he's going to, like, meetings for people that have had some serious trauma. And then some other people were like, hey,
you want to go back and
help
fight
us,
him with us?
help us get people that he's kidnapped. And he's like, they're probably dead. And they're like, help us anyway. And then they force him against his will once they get there to act. He's like, I'm not going in. They're like, that's fine. And then they get there and they're like, you're going in. I hated those people. Those people
Yeah.
were dinks.
I didn't. Yeah, you're not supposed to be a fan of these people, and correctly, I don't believe that either of us were.
You know what a dink is, right? Dual income, no kids. It's a couple that like can afford to go do a bunch of stuff because they
Nice.
don't have children to waste their money on. They're dinks.
So you ain't one.
Nope. I'm a lot of things, but I'm not a dink.
The irony in this. So.
What was
on
your
a s-
favorite?
Oh yes, that instead. Okay, so right at the beginning, the thing that kills most of the people in the kill count,
I mean, it killed a lot.
like at least 200,
Well,
250.
anyway,
It shows it a little bit in the trailer. This thing comes down above the people at the party, starts spinning really fast,
like a giant lawnmower blade.
and it just plows right through these people.
Oh yeah.
Zzz, it was awesome. Just blood everywhere, except for on my face. Like, it was everywhere else.
All right. I mean, that was a pretty cool scene. Mine would also be bloody. The cage that started, like, the ceiling of the cage started, like, squishing the people that
Yeah.
were in it. These bars came up and just caught a
That
bunch
was, like,
of people.
right around the same time as mine, so...
And, man, like, the traps are inventive, and they definitely are meant to kill
that was another
multitudes of
15 or so
Yeah.
people, like...
I liked that. Like, it's hard to pick just one trap that I like the most. I mean, there's a lot of scenes that give you that visceral, like, oh, that hurts.
I like that they skip the, maybe he's a good guy, because Jigsaw lets the people get away.
Yeah, nope.
Not this guy.
Nope, this guy just wants
He just
to
wants blood.
end folk. All right.
But he's not racist.
Now, on a scale of, what does that have to do with anything?
Indiscriminately kills everybody.
Sure.
Yeah.
What a good guy.
Yeah.
On a scale of 1 to 10,
I'm giving this a 8.5.
I'm going to give it a 7.5. It's not quite as good as the first one, but a 7.5 is a solid movie we're going to watch more than
Been a
once.
35 or a 49.
Yeah. I'm saying 75. And like a 75, I would have been happy on a test in high school.
Yeah.
But then
Well-
again, I had low expectations in high school.
Heck, in high school, I would have been happy to get a 65.
Yeah. Well. All right. So, is there anything else you want to say about this
So
before we?
8.5, 7.5. Both movies are streaming on various platforms.
Yeah,
Go watch them.
definitely.
Go watch both of them.
Watch them in order because there is
a continuity.
storyline.
There's a story.
Exactly. There is a continuity, but anything else you can think of? No,
No.
just watch it.
Just watch
Like he
this
says
movie.
every week.
Like I say it every week.
And then I guess we just have Eamon
stuff on
who's
the
here today,
sides.
put the stuff up on the side. That
Yeah.
stuff.
Oh my goodness. First try. All right. So you can watch this show on Fact TV channel 1082 Thursdays at 8:30 p.m. and Fridays at 7 p.m.
You can like us on Facebook, and when I say us, I mean you can like Gory Storytime. Over 1,000 people have, and you can like Fact TV, which you also should do. You get live streams of.
They've got more than
things.
us, so you know.
Yes.
Thanks anyway. You can go to fact8.com, watch a bunch of the back episodes of this, as well as thousands of hours of entertainment.
Absolutely. I mean, and only hundreds of it are us.
Right.
But there's hundreds of hours of stuff that we've done.
Multiple.
What else was I going to say? Follow us on the Twitter. I am at Craig Jakes, all one word, all lowercase.
And I am at Jiggly Firmbrain. I only tweet things that he says that I find funny, that I've got a list of things.
Yeah, he's got a list of like
building up.
10 things that he's needed to tweet, and he just won't do it. He used to be a
lazy.
lot better.
I'm lazy.
Instead, he's like, I don't have my phone on me. And I'm like, then what are you
By
on?
the way, I don't have that phone on me.
See? All right. And check out my YouTube page. Just go to YouTube, type in Gory Storytime, and 2 pages will show up, 2 channels, Fact TV and mine. Like and subscribe to them both. Hit the notification bell, subscribe, all that good stuff.
Ding, ding, ding.
Give likes to episodes, comment. Like, we love when people comment.
Go
I've
back
got
to
a
the
couple of
beginning
friends
of the
that do.
channel and just watch every single episode we've got posted. And then do it again.
I've got a couple of people in my life that will comment, and that's about it.
So do more of that,
we're looking
too.
for more. Like,
Come on, crowd
I don't mind
participation.
them doing it, but like, come on, if you watch this show, let us know you like it. Anything else? No, that's about it. So goodbye. No. And because we forgot before that happened, good.
I've been your host, Jason.
I'm his co-host and father, Craig, and
Sweet dreams.